everyone, welcome back to the Buddhacast. This is your host, Matt Haywood of Entertainment Buddha. I know it's been a long time since you've heard my lovely vocals on this podcast, but thanks to my team and my second-in-command, Raymond Pareca III, which I just found out he is the third, which is pretty awesome. He kind of held it down with Anna and some of our other team members that haven't been on the cast. But this week, you get the best of the best in myself and Tenbensons from the UK. Hey there, Bensons. Glad to have you back on the cast, buddy. How you doing?
I'm all good. I hope everybody missed me because I missed you.
Well, I know I did because, you know, our accents just aren't as radical as your accent. And your accent just, you give our a podcast a sense of, you know, like high society. It's that British royalty feel. So it's awesome to have that accent back on here. Even if you're from the south of England, which, you know.
Mate, I'm from the rough end of Portsmouth, so yeah, I don't know. It must be strange because from my point of view, I wouldn't say I'm kind of regal or lordly.
Well, no, yeah, I know. Well, I mean, you're like at the south tip, right, or close to the southern part?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of the south coast of England. If you've heard of the Isle of Wight, I'm just above that.
Isn't that where they do a bunch of concerts, right?
That's right. Yeah, they have the Isle of Wight Festival. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we are the arsehole of the United Kingdom, and that's the way I look at it.
I thought that was the Welsh.
Well, I suppose it depends on the way you look at it, but
it's just funny when I go over there. I mean, you know, obviously England's a little bit smaller than America, but you guys, I mean, it's like it's all your cities are like these pockets, and they're almost like our states. You know, like Mansfield or Manchester hates, you know, Chelsea or Liverpool. No,
you've got county wars. Yeah, county wars. So you've like Manchester, Newcastle, Liverpool. We all hate each other.
Right.
Definitely.
It's hilarious.
Like, I'm hated because I'm from the south, so I'm a soft southerner. But if you're from the north, and I believe Owen, he's more northerly than me. So as far as I'm concerned, he's northern.
Yeah, he was just at Leeds or whatever. I think that's some big.
Is it Leeds? Yeah, I thought so.
He did Leeds like 2 weeks ago. He's got that big white man afro. It's pretty sweet looking. Yeah. But he you know, he did a video for us or whatever. I had no clue he had that deep voice. That's what I mean. You British guys are surprising.
He'd be really good doing the Jon Snow impression because he's got the right kind of regional accent.
You're pretty good too. But anyways, what the hell? What are we having a podcast right now? We're talking about like geography.
I have no idea. What's going on.
Anyways, people, that's your culture for the podcast. So the culture segment is now over. Let's transition into some cool like geeky shit.
Yeah.
I love our brothers over there in the UK. It's a great little country. So, anyways, what we want to talk about today, people.
Motherfucker.
Anyways. What we want to talk about on this special podcast, just the two of us. Can't really call it the two-man train wreck because when Jim's on the podcast, it's not really a train wreck. But
no, that's right.
You know,
pure professionalism from here on out.
Two men, two mics, and a pop shield is what we'll call it.
Professional, proper studio mics. Yeah,
exactly. I'm not quite as tip-top as you, but I mean, mine's not bad. So anyways, what we want to talk about, last week, obviously, PAX Prime took place in Seattle, and I had the chance to attend again as a media member, and I really enjoyed PAX Prime almost more than I enjoyed PAX East, but I'll kind of get into that. And so I'm going to talk about some of the stuff I saw at PAX. A lot of great indie games at PAX. I mean, everyone that's into indie or just that retro style of games that are coming out, the pixel art, all that fun stuff should be pretty excited. I mean, it's insane to see the love and just the amount of space that the indies get now at these shows.
Well, this is it. It's kind of like a renaissance of the indie.
Without
indie
a doubt.
sphere.
I mean, and you know, we're an indie site, so I get it. Sometimes we're not going to get appointments with the big boys, some of the AAA games. I really have to put my hustle game on to get those appointments. But with the indies, no problem. And I love that. I love talking to these guys. I probably interviewed 25 indies while I was there. I still have a whole bunch of posts to put out. I put out a couple this week, but I've been running behind. But anyways, they're so much fun to talk to because they're usually maybe 3 people studios, 5 at the most. They're usually younger kids that all just kind of, like they're like, fuck it, let's take a risk and see what happens. And
I suppose they've got the kind of like ear to the ground because they're so generally, like you say, so young and such a small team.
And a lot of
that kind of uniqueness about them that they're not multi-million-dollar,
exactly,
making franchises. They are underground. They're
trying to find they're trying to find a game that's going to fund their studio for the next game. Really, I mean,
exactly. They're eager and they're hungry.
Yeah, they're hustling for every dollar they get, and they really it shows in their games because I mean they're super passionate. So, like I said, you're either going to get like these young recent grads or guys that have been doing freelance work programming, or you get, like you said, the AAA devs, people that have worked in AAA and have just been burnt out or let go so many times that they're just like, you know what, fuck it, let's make our own studio and build the game we want to build and not have someone in a suit trying to make shareholders happy and telling us what to do. So you really get that in the indie scene. It's either former AAAs or it's up and comers, and I got to talk to both types, and it was great. Like I said, saw a lot of great games. So we'll touch on some of those, and then also we're gonna kind of hit up the Destiny train, choo choo, because that's coming. That's coming up next Tuesday, at least here in the States. And as Benson and I were talking earlier before we went live on the air, it's one of those games that has reached an obscene level of hype, and is that going to be a good or a bad thing? As we saw with Watch Dogs, it's hype. It's hype kind of killed it because when you really sit down and think about Watch Dogs, if you played it at the end, it was not a bad game, at all. But it had such high expectations. It had that massive delay.
It wasn't the next gen game you were looking for.
Yeah, and there's the trickery with the graphics people were claiming. I think the hype kind of lessened people's positive opinions of it. I mean, I didn't.
Just on a side note, did you see the absolutely insane GTA 4 mod?
No, what is it?
It's a Watch Dogs mod for GTA 4. You've got to check it out.
So you can use your phone and you can hack all that stuff?
It is unbelievable. You would not believe it's... I knew it was GTA 4 because I could tell by the location and the cabs and certain things, but the detail that this guy has gone into is phenomenal. I'd urge everyone to check it out because it's just a marvel of what is...
Did you check out how hard it would be to do the mod? I mean, how hard is it?
Yeah, exactly. It takes an incredible amount of talent. I mean, you talking about indies, well, there's a lot of modders out there.
There's mod communities. I mean, these are people that more or less do this shit for free.
Exactly,
They just love doing it.
Yeah, exactly. They have the same kind of talent. And there's a lot of mods that do get taken on by studios. So... yeah, some mods are just absolutely amazing, and this is one of them. So check it out. Yeah,
that's like you're always saying. I mean, I know I just got into the PC scene probably a month or two ago. I finally have a computer that can play games, and Benson's always been a big proponent of PC gaming because, sure, it's going to look better. Sure, you can get the insane deals through Steam. But because of stuff like modding, I mean, people can change the core game and make it into something they want and play around. And there's that, those communities that pop up. I mean, shit, look at Skyrim still has a video series dedicated to it weekly on YouTube for people either modding it or just doing stupid shit in it, making TV shows, Skyrim cops. And it's insane the life that a game can have on the PC platform versus the consoles.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like you say, it extends a life indefinitely. I mean, there's so many games. I mean, even take, a game like the Elder Scrolls series. Now, you mentioned Skyrim, very recent, but you go back 5 or 6, maybe 7 years, I think, to Morrowind. People are still making mods for Morrowind.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
It really is crazy, but hey, I guess, that's why you love it, and I'm slowly getting there. I still just like sitting my fat ass down on a couch and holding the controller, though, even though I can hold a controller on this. And I'm getting a little upset with Apple because, I paid some top dollar for this 27-inch iMac, and the motherfucker needs restarted every day. And I have not had the time to call Apple Care to figure out what the fuck's going on or if they'll send me a new one. But I feel like I have Windows. And maybe it's because I do have Windows on this machine through boot camp. So like I said, I've always feared infecting an Apple device
You won't.
With Windows.
There is no chance.
Yeah.
There's no. And even if you did infect it, at the end of the day, you could nuke your Windows partition and reinstall a fresh copy of Windows. I've done it a couple of times. But yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about that after the podcast rather than bore everyone to death with technical details.
You got it.
But I would say your Mac's fine, dude. Your Mac's fine. It sounds like
what it does, I mean, essentially, if it goes to sleep, it won't wake up with my Bluetooth keyboard until I restart the machine. Like the keyboard just won't work. But like you said, this is not the troubleshooting hour. So let's dive into the PAX agenda. So PAX Prime, Seattle.
Yeah, tell me about PAX, dude. Because like,
first
people
off,
won't know, but I've been really ill. I had like a massive major ear infection, so I missed all the good stuff that came out of PAX. So
well, there weren't any like super major reveals. Those are typically reserved for E3. But just first and foremost, the city. It takes place in Seattle.
Gamescom.
Yeah.
Sorry, just want to say. Gamescom.
Oh yeah, no. Gamescom. Yeah, Gamescom's
yeah.
a good one. We need to get you into that, by the way, somehow. But anyways, that's a year away. So Seattle, first and foremost, great town. I mean, it's the first time I've ever been out there. Loved it. I like that gloomy weather. I like the 65, 70 degree temps.
Did you go on the was it the Space Needle?
Oh yeah, I went up to Space Needle, did the touristy stuff in between meetings with 30 people.
Is it a cafe?
No, there's like a fine dining restaurant, and then where Riff Raff can go and eat like French fries and chicken nuggets and crab. So,
yeah, I'm there.
yeah.
That's me.
We didn't go to the nice part, but it's just a great town, pretty free, hippie-ish. They just legalized the marijuana, so
they legalized the herb.
Oh yeah, so a lot of people there were very chill. But anyways, the venue. Okay, this is why I kind of appreciated over PAX East. So PAX East is in Boston, massive convention center, huge expo halls, just herds of people. Seattle, the way their convention center is built is it's actually 6 levels. So where the hall itself may not be huge, they're kind of like stacked on each other. So you have floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The show takes place on 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I never felt like there was massive crowds of stinky geeks like at some of these other conventions. You know what I mean? It's like going up the escalators or having to disperse these other floors airs the place out and almost makes it seem like there's not as many people there. So anyways, great facility, and definitely enjoyed PAX Prime. But the games, all right. So as I prefaced, PAX Prime, I spent a majority of my time at the indie, mega, and mini booths. Okay, so this is where all the indie devs get put up. Those that are a little bit bigger and further along their careers, they'll actually get real deal booths. And then the upstarts, they literally get these standing booths. It's called the indie mini booth. And you just crowd around this almost like a stool with it, obviously their game and a monitor playing it. So I want to talk about the indies that I saw first. And the one that has stuck with me to this day, and I don't know if it's the name, if it's the art style, or if just the gameplay itself, but Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime from Asteroid Base. Okay, Asteroid Base, 3-man studio out of Toronto, Canada. This is their first official game. It's actually going to be for the Xbox One, which if you own that platform, there hasn't been a lot of exclusive indie games or really just great indie games. The PS4 has gotten some pretty solid indies from the get-go. So this is a big win, in my opinion, for Microsoft and the Xbox One, and I hope it is for Asteroid Base. But so Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime, you can read my preview, but what it is, it's a old school. It has that, I'm not going to say pixel art, but it's a flat design. It's not 3D. But essentially, the concept is you're in this big pink spaceship. It almost looks like a Death Star with the middle cut out so you can see inside of it. So imagine if you cut the Death Star in half, you'd see everyone in there. So that's the view you're presented with. Two people play it. You can play by yourself with the AI, but this is a wholeheartedly a local co-op game. So in this spaceship, you have various stations. So let's say you have a turret station on all 4 corners of the ship. In the middle is the piloting station, so that's how you drive the ship. And then there is a special weapon or special defense station. So if you can picture that, you're 2 little dudes. So not only do you have to worry about flying the ship and shooting all the crap coming at you, but you also have to, using platforming gameplay, control your 2 little dudes in the ship running up and down stairs, jumping on platforms to get to these various stations so you can combat the enemies attacking you. So, for example, if we were getting hit with a frontal assault, the guy I was playing with, I'd have to be like, yo, dude, get off of the piloting wheel and get over on your turret. So he'd have to run off, get up on his turret, take him out. Then they'd start coming on my side, and he'd have to flip over and reorient the ship. So, like I said, you kind of just, you have to work together, and it's just, it's almost like a twin stick shooter, the shooting part. But it's just, it was a blast, man. I mean, I have not had that much fun playing a local co-op game probably since, the Nintendo days or GoldenEye or Mario Kart or something like that.
So it's a couch co-op?
Yes. Yeah. I asked him about online. He said they're only a 3-man studio. They didn't really have a guy that can do all the network code, because I don't know if most people know that, but, to have an online component of a video game requires a beefy amount of just network code, let alone...
The thing is, I think at the moment, though, the kind of couch co-op is making, like indie games itself, is having a bit of a resurgence.
Yeah, no, it is. And
look
at
games
that.
like, say, Towerfall Ascension, which is an absolutely fantastic couch co-op game. And there's also another one that I've mentioned on a few podcasts back, another indie title called Gang Beasts, which is, I think it's on early access now on Steam. But that's a couch co-op game. And it's just, there's, for years and years and years, I played Xbox 360, and Xbox Live opened up to me, and I was just like, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. This is what I've always wanted. Being able to game with some, test my skills against people that are incredible.
Right.
Absolutely amazing. Loved it. But I didn't realise how much I missed couch co-op until a few months back when I, like I said, started playing Towerfall Ascension. And I was playing it with my girlfriend, and we were just having an absolute laugh. And then I got a friend round, and there was 3 of us playing couch co-op, and it's just brilliant. And it took me back, in time to when I'd play Mario Kart,
hell
on the SNES with my brother,
or just Super Mario Brothers, rotating. Okay, I'm Mario, I get to go first, and when I die, you can play. I mean,
yeah. And there's something that I definitely had lost, and I think gaming overall had lost.
No, you're right. I mean, think about kids born in like the year 2000. They're 14 now. They're probably just seeing couch co-op games, and they're probably like, "Holy shit, this is fantastic." Where people like you and me have been around for a bit. Yeah, it is. It's kind of going full circle here. We're getting back to the NES days.
But it was all good though, wasn't it? I mean, I remember when you first experienced 4-player GoldenEye.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if you played GoldenEye 4-player.
Oh, no, it was mind-boggling because I'd never played like an actual FPS multiplayer. Yeah,
I mean, my story with GoldenEye was the fact that at the time I was taking my exams in the UK. They're called the GCSEs, and we take them when we're 16. And I lived so close to the school that in between the exams, like the 1 or 2 hours that we had, we'd all just come back to mine, and people would bring their controllers, and we'd play GoldenEye tournaments. And I only had a tiny little television, so you probably got a screen size of...
like 4 inches, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like 4 by 4 inch
And it wasn't bad, right? I mean, you loved it.
No, yeah. I mean, we'd have the most amazing matches, and that's exactly what I was saying, with the couch cop thing, and where there was 4 of us, all plugged in, one machine, one game, all of us together, and there must have been probably about 16 people in my house, and we'd all, winner stays on. And it was just such a great time. Some of the best gaming memories that I have. And I'm glad to see it back. I'm glad to see developers kind of putting that on us again. And like you say, it'll be great for the kids to discover that and get that feeling that we all had, and just experience what it's like to just sit there and
you're depressing me because I'm sitting here going like, man, all my friends... They all have families now.
I've got family.
I'm the only one of my friends without kids, so I can still live my life, and I do like to play video games, but I always find myself at night sitting here like, there's no one to play games with anymore. I mean,
I've got a geek girlfriend.
That's a good win. I mean, my wife, she'll play with me every once in a while. She gets into Mario Kart and crap, but I can't get her to play anything. I would have loved her to play Diablo 3 with me, which. My God, Diablo 3 at this point in time, Reaper Souls Ultimate Evil Edition is my game of the year. I'm not shitting around. Oh my God, dude,
my girlfriend
so much
was thinking
fun.
of getting it.
Dude, so much fun. I mean, I had it for the PC. I appreciate it, didn't really get into it, but dude, on the PS4, it feels like it's meant to be a console game over a PC game. I haven't played a game that religiously in years, probably since our Gears of War 1 days. I mean, every night that game came out, I dumped at least 4 or 5 hours into it.
Yeah.
So, yep. But anyways, Diablo 3, definitely pick that up if you haven't checked it out.
Quick question about Diablo.
Yeah.
Is it like Torchlight or Torchlight 2, if you've played that? Or is it definitely more of its own game?
Well, I mean,
it owns
I haven't played those
itself.
games, but looking at them, they're kind of like a top-down loot, like dungeon loot type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Diablo is the franchise that essentially started that genre, or like, that's what everyone looks to. Diablo is like the king of looters, dungeon loot games. So, yeah, I mean, you control your character with the left stick. You use the face buttons for your powers, and you basically just sit there and spam the shit out of buttons and get awesome loot and get insane loadouts. I mean, my guy at the end looked like, Skeletor on crack, and he'd have these ninja stars that would float around them at all times and just waste anything that came close to him. I mean, it's just addicting as hell, dude. It's all about leveling up and finding loot and legendary loot, and then going Paragon and this, that, and the other thing. But that's probably all going to end next week. But we'll save that for the end of the cast, and we're talking about the arrival of Destiny.
Oh, yes.
All right, so back to Lovers. Not much more to say on it outside of they don't have a firm release date. Check out the post I did. I'll link it here. It's rad as hell. It has a fantastic art really style. Cool. I mean, the art design. I can
just imagine like the panic that it'll induce.
Oh yeah, because there's boss battles, so you both have to work together to make sure you can't beat a boss if you're not working together. So yeah, it gets really frenetic, very hectic. And if I knew the guy better, I probably would have been screaming at him. But he was a developer, so I was probably the one playing like shit. But he kind of made me feel like I was doing something special. So that was a good one. Another one that I just really enjoyed, even though it was an ass kicker, is Titan Souls.
Titan Souls.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Titan Souls. So this is Devolver Digital is putting it out. I forget the damn studio. Oh, Acid Nerve. Acid Nerve does Titan Souls. So imagine a game, and it has that very retro 8-bit art to it. Imagine a game where you only have one arrow to shoot and one health bar. That is Titan Souls. And all the gameplay is a series of boss fights. Okay, so when you start, you just spawn on this map, and it's kind of top down. It kind of reminds me of Zelda, something like that. And you go to these rooms, and you encounter a boss. And at first glance, you're like, okay, I can take this on. And now, mind you only have one arrow. So when you shoot it, it'll sit there and lay where it lands until you call it back or you run over it. So you really have to be precise with your shots. And if you get hit once, you're dead. So the caveat to Titan Souls is every boss requires a different strategy to beat them. And very rarely will you learn that strategy the first time you encounter the boss. So it is a punishing title. I mean, I'm talking, I probably died 15 times on one boss until I finally, got his pattern down and figured out how I needed to attack him. But it's just one of those brutal, I'm not going to call it a roguelike because it seemed more, it's not a platformer, it's RPG light, but again, it's just imagine nothing but Zelda boss fights. That is the game.
Okay. And you've got no kind of magic.
Nope, literally one arrow to shoot and one health bar.
That sounds pretty brutal.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those games that
is it one of those games that's like the beauty of it lies in the simplicity of its mechanics.
Yeah, it might sound boring, that's just boss fights, but it's not, because you beat one boss and you're like, hell yeah, I figured it out, and I had the skills to do it, because this isn't a game that you can just casually play. I mean, you have to have some sort of gaming acumen and being able to, kind of have twitchy maneuvers to jump out of the way. But yeah, it gives you a sense of accomplishment once you vanquish somebody. And then once you do that, you're like, all right, bring on the next one. I can do it. And then you run in the room and you get your ass kicked in 2 seconds. So that's a good one. I believe that one's coming out in 2015.
What platforms? Do you know?
I think that one is going to be PS4, I believe Vita, and PC.
Right, okay.
Everything just in general, PS4, Vita, they're getting a lot of these indie games, which I think is fantastic. And from what I've heard from the devs,
Sony's drive was, their E3 conference, and before,
that's what I was going to say.
Reveal, it was all about indie games.
Yeah, so far it seems like it's easier for indies to get on Sony. That's why I thought it was huge that Lovers got on the Xbox One, because that was the only Xbox One indie title I saw. So Titan Souls should be for most of them. All right, next little indie game. This one I could see Benson's getting into. I'm not sure though. It's called Reassembly. Right. I think I sent you the press build. If you ever get bored, check it out. But
yes, no, you did send me the press build.
It's very here. The concept is you build your own spaceship from scratch. So if you've ever opened like AutoCAD and you see all those like flat geometric shapes, that's essentially what the shipbuilding mechanic looks like. So you have these little sticking points where okay, I can latch an engine onto that, or I can put a gun there, a gun here, a shield there. So not only are you, building up XP and resources to build your own ship, make it bigger, 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 and more badass, but once you do that, you then have to go and fight. So you actually, you launch your ship and you go out there and you're fighting and it's not 3D, it's still 2D flat presentation, but once you get your ship, it's kind of like a twin stick shooter, and then you can have little baby ships that follow you, and then they get special powers. And just what I thought was neat was the building mechanic. How I can just basically, I don't like my ship, doesn't have enough guns in the front. As long as I had the resources, I could hit pause, go in, move some items on the front of my ship.
Yeah, that sounds really good. That sounds sweet.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's for people that like to tinker, kind of like a voxel game where you're building stuff and then you go play with it, but it's not Minecraft. It's not cube based. It's not 3D. It's flat geometric shapes. So I thought that was pretty fun too. Another one I liked is called Extreme Exorcism. And this was this is another real retro looking game. It's a up to 4-player multiplayer, but it's one of those games where once you die, you instantly come back, but then your ghost spawns too. So every time you die, more and more of your ghosts spawn, and they do exactly what you did on your previous life. So by the end of a match, and you just keep going, trying to rack up high scores. So by the end of the match I was playing, there was probably 15 dudes jumping around doing stuff that I was doing previously, and I have to avoid them while trying to get the king ghost.
You have to avoid them? What, they can hurt you?
No, they can't. Yeah, they can hurt you if they like run into you or shoot you. So it gets nuts, but it's a fun nuts.
It sounds like it would get to that point where you just know you're fucked completely, and you have to
he was like, actually, man, you're not doing that bad for a demo. He's like, you're gonna make the leaderboard with my score, but
he was just tickling your balls, dude. Come on.
I put in my name at the end. I put in my name at the end. Come on, it came up. The leaderboard screen came up, but I just I was not a big
classic arcade leaderboard. Oh yeah, only 3 characters.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
Get in.
Old school.
That's what you want.
So, I really didn't get into the indie scene like I know you have and Ray and some of the other people we work with. But just after being at PAX East, now PAX Prime, I'm really digging this stuff. And I'm glad some of it's coming out for consoles. Obviously, most will be for PC.
Yeah.
Even I think the Vita is a great platform for these indie titles.
Yeah, I'd second that.
The Vita is badass, and Owen, one of our writers, did a great piece, an editorial on the Vita, and it's something everyone should check out because it really is. It's a shame what Sony has done with that device because it's probably the best handheld with the worst games. You know what I mean?
But then there aren't a lot of games for it, really. That's what I mean.
Plus, Sony just has not
so many Vita games on PS Plus.
Sony has not pressured third-party devs to make anything for it.
That is true.
It's kind of there. It's a fantastic companion device for the PS4. I've been remote screening Diablo 3. It plays flawlessly. Anyways, Vita for president, I guess.
I think what Sony's strategy is they're trying to they're trying to downgrade it to be just a peripheral for the PlayStation 4. And I think that's the direction they're trying to take the Vita.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, they probably were just fuck it. It hasn't caught on yet, so now that the PS4's out in the market, let's just try to angle it that way.
Yeah, which is a shame because obviously it's a great device. It's a powerful device.
Dude, I mean, some of the Killzone game that came out last year, this time for it, looked amazing. I mean, the PS4 games look amazing on it. It's a great handheld that just it's undersold and shortchanged, really.
Well, I mean, like what was Owen's piece is... What was it? Is the Vita still relevant?
Yeah, he basically said why you should still care about the Vita, or why people should care about the Vita.
And I think I posted a comment saying that as far as I'm concerned, it's more relevant than a Wii U. But that's my opinion. I think it is more relevant than a Wii U. I think that Wii U shows what happens when you literally only get first-party support.
Yeah, you sell a shitload of games when it's a Mario or a Mario Kart or Zelda, and then it just doesn't sell anything for the whole next 2 years.
Exactly, yeah.
Although I didn't play Nintendo games because the lines there were ridiculous, but I did see some Hyrule Warriors, and it actually kind of looks fun. I've never played a Dynasty Warriors game, but having the whole Zelda skin on it looked kind of neat. I'm not going to lie.
You don't think it's gimmicky?
Yeah, of course it is. I'm just saying it looked neat. I mean, it's something I think it looked kind of brainless, and you know me, I'm kind of into brainless games these days. So I was like, hey, I could get into this, just mashing buttons aimlessly. But
are you the QTE king? Do you like QuickTime events? Is that your kind of game?
Well, I mean, technically, you could call all the Telltale games are nothing but QTE. So it depends on your.
That's true. The action is all QTE.
And that's the genius of their games. The dialogue, you have to make a decision so fast. It almost is like a quick time event.
No, that is true. Yeah,
and they force you to make those hard decisions. I don't know if you played The Walking Dead season 2, but holy shit,
I haven't played number 2. So
some of the decisions you have to make with Clementine are beyond fucked up to think about.
I know that Clementine is a completely different. Like I said, I don't know much about it, but I know that Clementine is not the sweet little.
Yeah, I have not finished episode 5 yet, so I don't really know where it goes. But I can tell you right now, my Clementine is a ruthless, cold-hearted bitch, and she's probably 10. So fantastic. Anyway, so those are just some of the indies. So Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime, Titan Souls, Reassembly, Extreme Exorcism. I played a bunch more. I'll be writing more pieces just for the sake of time. I want to move on to some of the AAA I got to check out. The first one, and the one I came away the most impressed with, is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Okay, so I think everyone remembers when this game was first revealed about a year ago, maybe at this time, if even that long. First thing people said, what was it? Oh, this is Assassin's Creed 2. It's going to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and I think we all chimed in on it, and it did look like it was using the AC engine.
Yeah.
But over time, Warner Brothers and Monolith have, revealed more information. And, I finally got to play it at PAX Prime. And I can say after spending 30 minutes with it, I am completely sold on it. I think it's fantastic that the game got moved up a week.
I've mentioned to you before off the podcast. Like, I don't know about it. Like I haven't had the chance to play it. So everything that has informed my opinion has been based on the videos that I've seen, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't know whether I want to like it or whether I'm just thinking, nah, it's not really something that I'm interested in.
Well, I'll fall on that grenade for you, buddy. So you can always wait for me to play it and tell you how it is.
Well, I remember you explain you tried to explain how the combat works.
Yeah, I've tried to explain the Nemesis system, and the Nemesis system is the part of the game that will make it unique for everyone that plays it. I mean, what my playthrough will be different than your playthrough, will be different than someone else's play. No one can ever have the same playthrough because of the Nemesis system, which essentially you pull up this menu. It almost looks like a chessboard of orcs. You have the war chiefs in the back, and then in front of them you have their captains, their bodyguards, or minions, or whatnot. So the demo I was given, the guy guiding me said, "All right, let's go in here and you tell me which war chief you want to go after." I went after some dude who looked fucking gnarly as hell. He had, decapitated heads on poles. He looked like a badass, so I wanted to go after him. So he said, well, all right, you can either choose to just go right for him and really make it challenging, or see how when you highlighted him that this line points to these other orcs. Those are his orcs, and you can actually take them on and either kill them to weaken the war chief, or you can possess them or dominate them, I think is what they call it, and they'll actually fight for you and help, change the tides of war.
Right.
So there's that part of it. Then there's also the gameplay in the open world does feel like an AC, a Batman. You got attack. Oh, there's a light over the dude's head. I'm gonna counter. But I found the combat to be visceral and brutal as shit. I mean, some of the finishers are nasty as hell. And then he also has this bow you can use. It's like this wraith bow you can shoot. So I could shoot a bow into this big rhino-looking beast, and I would automatically dominate, and I could ride it, and I could sit there and swing my sword down on the horse like I was, back in the medieval days. So
yeah, you also mentioned potential. Well, you also mentioned the fact that if you get killed by
I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so here's Matt on the mission. I've never played before. I have a guy talking in my ear trying to tell me what I mean, if anyone's ever been to one of these video game trade shows as a media member, you probably know what I'm talking about, or just in general. I mean, when you're playing a new game and you got people watching you, you have that like nervous feeling, or is that just me? You know what I mean?
No, not me, mate. I'm a fucking pro.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you're cool under pressure, cool as ice. But anyway, so I got all this shit going on. There's dubstep music playing throughout the expo hall. But yeah, so what Benson's was bringing up. So, I picked the war chief I wanted to go after. I took out his bodyguard. I was supposed to dominate and bring to my side, but I got a little overzealous with the controls and fucking chopped his head off, which was fine because I may still achieve my goal. And then I went on to take on the war chief, and time was running short. The demo person was like, all right, we got to, I want you to see this, so run in there and just start fighting. So I took his advice. I ran there, started fighting, and got my ass handed to me because unlike AC, I feel like this game, you really can't just go into large crowds and spam the shit out of your block and parry or your attack and parry and actually make it out alive. I mean, I felt it hard, and what Benson was saying. So when I died, the war chief who was my target, he was there and he helped to kill me. His captain was there, he helped to kill me, and then a few of his bodyguards. So by them killing Talion, who's the main character, they get buffs. They get almost like an XP increase. So the war chief gained more power. The bodyguard that was with him got promoted to a captain. That captain fought the old captain and killed him and took all his stats. And this is all just going on.
That does sound really cool. The fact,
so this is all going on.
You didn't mention that captain fought another captain.
The orc factions can fight each other on that like chessboard thing, that menu. I mean, they'll literally be like,
and it's totally dynamic as well.
Yes, it's all imagine like a rolling a dice. It's just I could go in the menu and do that, and then you could go do it, and maybe they wouldn't fight. Where they fought for me, but they wouldn't fight for you. So, yeah, by me losing, the whole line of that war chief's orcs basically got more powerful. So the next time I went against them, it was going to be even more challenging. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I need to, I mean, that Nemesis system requires a deep dive and a few hours to really play around to fully get the grasp of what it can do. But it definitely changes up the open world third person, platforming action.
Yeah, I mean that aspect of it, that sounds cool as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a Tolkien junkie. I think what that guy created is some of the most amazing fiction in the galaxy of all time. I mean, it's just insane.
I agree with you 100%.
I mean, J.R.R. Tolkien is just nuts. I could have a whole podcast talking about his writing, all the languages he created, all the cultures he created. I mean, just insane. So I'm a sucker. I'll jump into a Tolkien-based video game, even though it's kind of based on it's not really a story that took place in the books. It takes place in between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. But it still has, and I asked, all the orc characters are legit names from the Tolkien universe. It's not like because some of them are fantastic. I mean, it's like Umlock, the gnarly and shit like that. And just cool names. Great names. So Shadow of Mordor, I think it's fantastic. It got bumped up a week, kind of got out of that crowded October, although, a couple months ago, we were talking October is going to be the most insane new release month of all time.
I know. What the fuck's happened?
And now all the games are gone. They've all been delayed. And that's what you get, man. When these studios are at like E3 and whatnot, and they're trying to pump their chest, they sometimes, cash checks that they or whatever the hell that saying is, or we'll just move on to the next point. But anyways, so October, I think we still have The Evil Within. Yeah,
The Evil Within. I think that's been overshadowed though, hasn't it? I mean, that's been overshadowed by PT. So I think a lot of people have forgotten about The Evil Within already.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's funny, just like you said, how you were ill with PAX. I was traveling during Gamescom. So I missed all that shit. Like when you put up that post, is PT the greatest reveal ever? I was like, what the fuck is P period T? And what the fuck is PT? It's like, I heard this new Silent Hills game with, Norman Reedus, but what the fuck is PT? And I was like, it's a playable teaser.
Have you checked it out?
No, dude, I have not.
You should do it. It's worth playing. I mean, like, a lot of people went off on one and were like, oh my God, it's the most fucking scary game, the scariest game ever. I'm so afraid. I'll shit myself. It's like, it's not that scary. It does have some jump scares. But if you've played Outlast, if you've played at least the first couple of hours of Outlast, then it's pretty much on par with Outlast, like on a scare level. There's a couple of jump scares. But what it does have, and has in absolute fucking bucket loads, is atmosphere. Like tremendous atmosphere.
Okay, so good uses of light and sound and all that.
Brilliant use of light, brilliant use of sound, just all round general creepiness. And like the way it was designed, the fact that you're looping round and round and round, and something slightly different every time you do so. So it heightens your awareness, because you see the same surroundings over and over again. You notice instantly when something's different or when something's changed, and it builds anticipation because it's basically one corridor and then another corridor at a right angle. That's it. And there's various other objects, and it's pissing down with rain. There's thunder and there's lightning. There's a light that keeps swinging, but the anticipation builds because you loop through and you've got this short little corridor, and you've got to turn that corner. You've got to turn that corner. And it's generally pretty safe. Nothing's going to happen until you do turn that corner. So, do you see what I mean? You see how it was so perfectly done. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But I was going to run a second piece. I was going to do another piece, and I was going to say, like, a few games or 5 games that are just as scary as PT. And one of them that I think everybody should play is Gone Home, because Gone Home does the same thing. And it's almost like Kojima looked at Gone Home. Okay, I did buy that during the Steam summer sale, so I have that in my catalog. It's a great game. Not because I'm not going to say too much about it, but it has great use of atmosphere. Right. It builds tension. And it's Owen talked me into getting Surgeon Simulator, and that game's freaking ridiculous, dude. It's a game that you'll play for like 5 minutes and then leave it alone. So and then ridiculous. A month later, you'll play it for another 5 minutes. Dude, I was like, all right, I'll try it. I took a hammer and just like hammered this guy's chest open, and I was like sawing his guts out. I mean, don't know what there's like ones in. You do an operation in space, isn't there? And then... well, dude, the main menu, I was just trying to put a fucking floppy disk in a computer for like 30 minutes. Yeah. It's almost like that needs like the Nintendo Power Glove, like back where you can like somehow get your hands in virtual reality. That was fucking bad. Yeah, so Mordor, good AAA game. Another one I played, I don't know if Benson is excited about this game or not, but Lords of the Fallen, which is kind of a... Oh, hell yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, it first off, it looks pretty as fuck. I mean, it's a beautiful looking game for as, as nasty as the setting is. It's like a European take on Dark Souls. Totally. It's more, it's like a very medieval feel with, obviously demons and all that shit. And then the main character, Harkin, he's like a big hulking, he's not as like roided out as the Gears of War guys, but he's pretty stacked.
So anyways, they were doing a challenge at PAX Prime. Basically, if you could make it through the demo and beat the boss without dying once, you would win this massive Warhammer that was hanging on the wall. So
what?
Yeah, it was, dude, this thing, I mean, if I won, I wouldn't even be able to gotten on the plane. It was huge. I mean, life-size Warhammer. So I played it, died within 2 minutes. So I blew the challenge
you're someone who's
quickly.
Played Demon Souls, and you played. Did you play Dark Souls, or was it just Demon Souls?
Just Demon, and probably for maybe 45 minutes. So I have like no experience in these types of games. And
so what did you make of it then?
Well, here's the deal. I didn't get pissed off. I did not get upset by dying, because I knew I was dying because it was my fault. Because I was running out there and I was just trying to pretend it was like an action game. I'm like, attack. And you can't do that with this game. And I'm sure you can't do it with Demons and Dark Souls. You have to fucking block appropriately. You have to look for openings. You can't just go in there willy-nilly, pounding on the controller, which little impatient Matt tends to do.
Yeah.
So
Dark Souls is all about routine. You learn a routine.
Yes.
And then you progress a bit further until you get beaten, and then you need to learn that routine. And then you get to the boss, and the boss is just one routine. Because let's just say these guys
were probably big fans of those games, because there's a lot of similarities. When I died, I could go back and pick up my XP, for example.
Yeah, I think it's they've very obviously looked at Dark Souls, Demon Souls. Yeah, it possibly has been a few years in the making, so it could be Demon Souls was their influence, and in the interim, Dark Souls 2 has been released. So.
But you're dead on. It is you very much so have to learn the routine, because it's not like the enemies spawn in different areas every time you die. I mean, it's pretty much the same pattern you have to go through. So after the first time, I was like, okay, I can't do that. So I went out the second time, made it a little bit further, but I also experienced new content, so I didn't know what was coming, so I got my ass kicked again. Then on the third time, I knew it was coming, so I knew what to do, and then so on and so forth. Eventually, I started learning how to use my spells, and that I could use the environment. Like there was this huge dude where I had to burn my spell to get to him, but I also needed a spell to kill him, but spells need to recharge. So instead of waiting to recharge, I would just, kind of like bite his ankles, when they're like, yeah, come and get me. And then I'd run away into this courtyard, and, I could guide him to this pit and he'd fall down it. So, and then it eventually get to the boss, and the boss just, beat the living shit out of me, because I didn't really feel like studying his maneuvers. But overall, I mean, I am not a huge fan of those types of games, but I did enjoy what I got to play. Like I said, visually, it looks stunning. We were playing on the PC build, obviously, but it is going to be PS4, Xbox One, PC. And that's coming out end of October, so you can get your hands on that quite soon. And it looked and felt like a next gen game.
Good. I think it's time that we started seeing that, because we're still having games that are being released for the previous generation as well. And
well, Mordor is one of them. Mordor, I played on PS4, looks fantastic, but you can tell it was built for the 360 and PS3.
It's like cross-platform.
Yeah, I mean, you can just tell in the character models.
Cross-generation, sorry.
Exactly. I mean, their textures look great on the next gen, but you can just tell the model doesn't have as many facial animations and shit you probably could do if you build it just for next gen.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at Infamous Second Son, game built purely for next gen.
Yeah, exactly.
And the difference in quality.
So 2015, I know that we've said, well, maybe the end of 2014 we'll start getting pure next gen now. I think 2015's the more likely target at this point, because even Destiny, I mean, it's built for the old consoles too. So
yeah, I've got to admit, I don't think Destiny is a brilliantly visual game. It looks nice. Not at all. There's some great touches, and I think in the alpha build, when I did the video, I said that if you've got a semi decent PC, a mid range PC, it's nothing you haven't seen. It really isn't. It looks nice, and there's some nice touches, but it won't blow your eyes out your head. It won't make you think, wow, this is next gen gaming.
Well, yeah, the fact that it's 1080p on both of the new consoles, that's proof right there that it's not. I mean, because typically next gen games are going to look better on the PS4.
Yeah, I mean, it has a better spec GPU, so straight
it's happened. I mean, I found myself last night, turned on the Xbox One for the first time in a while ago. I'm like, holy shit, this controller feels weird.
Really?
Dude, I've been playing a ton of PS4. I mean, especially with Diablo. I mean, I bought PS4 for Diablo 3, even though I still think the PS4 chat system is a piece of shit.
Yeah. See, I got the gold wireless.
Dude, I have them too. I've tested it with people that I know have good headsets. They can't hear me. They're hard to hear. I just got those new HyperX Cloud White headphones. I can hear people fine. They can't hear me, or it's too. It's just. I don't care what anyone says. The Xbox One, dude, you join a party, you're fine.
Next headset you get sent for review, you are sending it over here because I need a headset.
No, you do, because I have like 50 at this point in time. I mean, really? I got headsets coming out my ass.
See, that's
and that's why, dude. I got Destiny for Xbox One just for the fact that I could not deal with that. Chat just drives me nuts. I mean, I tried playing Diablo with Raymond, with Anna. And, you know, all the time, Anna would be like, can you still hear me? I'd be like, yeah, I can hear you. I'm here. Trust me, I'm here. And she's like, okay, you kind of sound like this. Like I'm yelling. It's like, this is a pain in the ass. And then I was playing with a dude from Sony and he couldn't hear me or I couldn't hear him. It just, Xbox One may be struggling, but it still has nice, crystal clear voice chat. You can't take that away from Xbox Live yet. I mean, it has the best chat on consoles, so. Well, I mean, we're talking about Destiny now. We might as well transition into that segment.
Might as well.
Yeah, so that was PAX. Again, just the games, Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime, Titan Soul, Shadow of Mordor, Reassembly, Lords of the Fallen. Of course, my buddy Robin Arnott and Sound Self, the trance game for your eyes. That's another fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
isn't that a Rift?
Yes, and he just announced today that, you know, it's coming out for the Gear VR too now. That did you see that yesterday?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Samsung,
the mobile one that Oculus is helping them with. So yeah, they're building a mobile port of this. So yeah, this is a game. Just whenever these VR headsets finally release retail, just buy Sound Self. That's all you need to know. It's just get it. It's going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced. You know, maybe if you've dropped acid, it might remind you of that. But it's far out. Let's just say Robin's booth at PAX was a tent with a shag carpet, and he was serving tea. Yes. He is awesome, dude. He has a pink mohawk. He has a pink mohawk. All his fingernails were painted just this nice, lovely red.
Do you think he was nipping out for a joint during any kind of downtime?
Yeah, it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. But he's a great guy. I mean, just a cool, free spirit. And like I said, the game is just something unique.
Do you think it's a reflection of it, like him? Because it sounds like the way you're describing this. I mean, the idea came to him when he was on a trip at Burning Man. I mean, he was literally tripping at Burning Man, and he told me, he's like, you know, if you ever, you know, trip or hallucinate, you know, sometimes the sounds would be like wah 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 wah, and you hear shit and you see shit. Oh man, I've tripped.
He's like, he said, I like that experience, but sometimes I don't like what you have to do to get there, you know, taking the drug. So he basically created this game where you chant, and it takes your vocals, and it influences the music and the visuals. And it's meant for meditation, more or less. It's not really a game. There's no points. You don't win. It's something you strap on for, you know, 15 to 30 minutes.
He could be onto something there with like a kind of therapy, therapeutic.
Yeah. I mean, this is something where we'd be like, just all sit around the room, strap our sound selves on, and at the end we come out and talk about our experience. I'm telling you, dude. It's
like a sweat lodge.
He had a girl go through the demo, and when she took the headset off, he said she was just crying.
Really?
Like it took her to a space that was not pleasant for her. So it can, if you know how to kind of slip out of your consciousness and kind of how to let go, you'll definitely like this game. So yeah. Anyways, let's move into Destiny. It's just small title coming out from a small studio on a couple little platforms next week. You may have seen the 5 million commercials for it right now.
Yeah.
The live action commercial aired last night during the first NFL game.
Or is it the special PlayStation 4 White Edition, which is launching alongside?
Oh man, how sexy does that console look though?
Have they got a Destiny console coming out? I know they got a Call of Duty one, haven't they?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Sony, they shelled out the money to get all the good Destiny stuff. I mean, all the content is at least going to be exclusive till 2015. You're getting certain strike missions that Xbox people will never get. And then obviously that white console is just fucking beautiful.
It's nice, but from my experience, I wouldn't have one. I wouldn't have the white console. They discolor after a while.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I'm looking at one of my old like the original 360s right now.
Is it yellow?
It's a little yellow tinted, yes.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean,
right, well,
it does look
cool.
sexy as.
All right, maybe I'll get the white controller and just get it all dirty looking and grimy.
See, no, I want the camo controller.
Oh yeah, digital camo I think just released, so that should be available now. I actually had to go buy the blue one because my factory one, I've literally worn out the left joystick already.
You didn't have to buy it. You can get it replaced, dude. Sony have acknowledged that. So if anyone out there has got a PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controller that's wearing on the sticks, take it back to wherever you purchased it from.
Well, shit, where the hell were you 2 weeks ago?
Ill. I was ill, dude. Honest to God, yeah.
You can
still do that. You can still do that. Even though you might have bought another one, but you can still do that. I mean, I don't know.
So like they'll send me a box and I'll send it to them and I get a new one, or I mean, how's this happen?
I don't know if you it's consumer law is different here in the UK.
Oh yeah, there's no way. I mean, I got my PS4 at launch. No way. That the warranty for the store, the window to go back to the store is over. I mean, there's no way. I'd have to go through.
You don't get like a standard year's warranty.
Fuck no, not from the store, from the manufacturer.
Yeah, but surely you're right. Without boring everybody too much, in the UK, even though it's a manufacturer's warranty, by law, I take it back to the place I purchased it from. Not if a store told me, sorry, you've got to send that back to Sony, I can turn around and say, no, bollocks, fuck you. Consumer law states I take it back to you because you are the person I paid, not them.
Oh, yeah, that sounds fantastic, but that's usually not how things work here. Like, for example, our big electronics store is Best Buy, okay? If I want to be able to take my stuff back there and just get it replaced that day, I have to buy an additional warranty from Best Buy. That's a Best Buy black tie protection is what they call it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that you'll still be able to send it back to Sony because
I'll research it because it is the controller is just it's beat. I mean the left
changed
stick
it
is
there as well.
default.
They've changed the new controller because I got mine replaced. I got my console replaced because it was making a funny buzzing sound, and I got my DualShock replaced with it as well. And I can compare it because my girlfriend's got a launch console, and they've changed it. They've sneakily updated the controller, slightly different.
Yeah, you know what? The PS4 is loud. I don't care. The PS4 is way louder than the Xbox One. Yeah,
but that could be because of the GPU running at a higher speed.
It just always sounds like it's ramping up to spin something.
Yeah. Anyway, Destiny, dude. Destiny.
Yes, so Destiny. I guess I'm just going to throw it right on you because we were talking, offline and.
Right. Okay. Then. My take on Destiny.
Let me set it up. So one time, Benson's, he was kind of all in with Destiny, very excited. He did that great alpha video for us, and he did beta let's play. He was all about it, but now due to media and hype,
it's overhype. Yeah.
Yeah, overhype. He's starting to change his stance. So go ahead, lay it on us, Benson.
Definitely. Yeah. No, you bang on there. I was 100% really pumped, really feeling the kind of vibe that Bungie were trying to, push for Destiny. But I think it's because it's been rammed down my throat so much.
I mean, the more I'm listening to you talk about it, I'm sitting here going like, you know what? I'm not really that excited either. I'm really not. I don't know if it's because I'm back teaching, I'm back taking my master's and running EB, so my time is very slim. But yeah, I'm sitting here going, yeah, I'll probably go the midnight launch just because the way we do it over here, it's actually very efficient.
See, I've got a question. I think, and I don't know whether it's the same for you as it is for me, but possibly because, and in some strange way, because I did play the alpha and then I did play the beta, that it's somewhat diminished my expectations. Although I enjoyed them both immensely. I enjoyed the alpha.
That is the danger of betas and alphas, that you're basically spoiling the game.
Exactly.
Really.
If they had never had that, would I feel the way I am now, which is slightly deflated? I'm still pretty sure that I will end up playing Destiny, but I'm not getting it at launch. I'm just definitely not getting it at launch. I mean, you might be different because obviously you might be doing a review for the site, but if given the choice, if you didn't own the website, if you weren't trying to do a review for EB, would you buy it? Or would you wait a little while?
Dude, I'm a sucker for AAA and Bungie's pedigree. I
you
would get
are
it. Yeah.
everybody's ideal customer, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here. You show me something. Like, here you go.
It's
Here's
new.
my money.
It's shiny.
I mean, shit. I just raised the GDP of Australia by buying a bunch of Funko Pops I couldn't get in America anymore.
Really?
Dude, I'm getting Funko Pops shipped from Australia to America now, dude. Yes.
Have they got a Last of Us Funko Pop?
No, but if they do, I'll get it.
Oh man.
Oh, I just got the Funko Pop Special Edition Predator where he's in invisible camo. It's pretty badass.
How do they manage that one then?
It's literally just it's a clear like see-through
figure. Did they
figure.
send you an empty box?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Have you just been like shafted?
I'm doing
that, mate. I'm telling you, I'm going to buy a load of empty Funko Pop boxes.
Start selling the Invisible Man. Just say this is the Invisible Man collectible.
It's got to be done. We'll make a fortune, mate. We'll make an absolute fortune.
Yeah, I probably would be getting Destiny anyways. In fact, I have 2 Ghost editions coming. One is we're giving away on the site, by the way. You can still register to win. I guarantee you it's a better chance than signing up through Joystick, IGN, Game Informer, any of the big guys. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just Entertainment Buddha. It's not like we're massive. We should be massive. We're not. But I guarantee you're going to have way better odds winning through us than anywhere else. And you can't get the Ghost edition anywhere. It's sold out. You're not going to get it in a store. You're only going to get it on the black market, and you're going to pay through the nose. So sign up on the site.
You might want to clarify, because I did ask you on Twitter to clarify it, but that is open to everywhere.
Well,
UK.
Here's what I put in the terms and conditions, and I probably should have done the research, but I did not. It's my understanding that Xbox One games aren't region locked.
Right. Xbox One, no.
But PS4 are, right?
Yeah. That's
because
right.
you guys are on a whole other
locked.
PSN than we are.
That's right.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, though, I think if you got a boxed retail game, you're fine playing it on a console, but any DLC, I think, has got to be. I'm not too sure. We'll have to.
Yeah,
we'll
I don't
really
either, because even
into
Owen was like, "Oh, dude, I mean, if that was the case, then why aren't we importing it from?" I was like, "I don't know, dude. I'm just that's why
we get charged.
That's why I put it
tax.
in. Yeah, I put it in the legal mumbo jumbo for the contest. Basically.
Yeah, I could buy a game in the States. Like considering the pound is pretty much $1.50.
Oh, you could buy a state at this point in time.
Yeah, so I could buy a game for, say, I don't know, $30, $35, maybe $40. But because it's over a certain threshold, I then get charged import tax on top, which isn't at a discounted rate. It's the same rate as if I was to go to a shop in England. So it ends up being, I'll probably save maybe £2 or £3. So it's just generally not worth it.
Got it. Yeah, but, this is just a random thought I just had back to England and London and British people, but I met with two guys from Curve Studio. They did Stealth Inc. They're doing Stealth Inc. 2, which I'll have a preview on. They did the Swapper port. They did Thomas Was Alone port. But these dudes, they did PAX Right. Check this shit out. They rented basically a penthouse at the top of this, mega condo in Seattle. So they had this whole kick-ass pad with, 7.1 surround sound, so they could show off the game they wanted to, the way they wanted to. They had beer, they had snack. I mean, just what I'm getting at here is, thank you, Rob. Thank you, Sam. UK people, you put on the best PAX showcase in the world.
That's right.
So thank you. That was fantastic. Good, yeah, it was me and the 2 developers in this penthouse. I just had an hour to play the game and talk to them. It was bad. I mean, it was awesome. So, anyways, yeah, Destiny. So we're giving away the Ghost Edition for the Xbox One. Just search on the site Destiny giveaway. You'll find it. That ends. I'm actually ending it, I think, next Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because it'll get shipped to me, so it's not like I'm gonna have it to ship out for Tuesday anyways. But the winner should have it probably within a week of the game releasing. So that's not a bad prize to be given out on good old Entertainment Buddha.
I just want to add to our Destiny kind of chit chat that although I'm deflated about it, and I'm, you've mentioned that you're slightly deflated about it, I still think it's going to be a great game. I don't think. I mean, the comparison we were talking about, I think earlier, was Watch Dogs,
right?
And how Watch Dogs had so much hype surrounding it, and then when it finally released, people found that it wasn't the next gen game that they were expecting it to be. Now with Destiny, it's been different because we have had that alpha, we have had that beta, and yes, it has deflated me somewhat, but at least I know that there is a great game underneath it all. Like this kind of, it's a very nice mix of Borderlands and obviously Halo, and some RPG elements. The RPG elements are probably the most interesting aspect for me.
I just like going on the tower and dancing with other people.
Yeah, hopefully they're going to add
I guess there's like a purple soccer ball somewhere on the tower too that you can just go around and kick around.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I've heard.
I've seen it. I know there was loads of different things, wasn't there? That was like sneakily hidden away in the alpha and the beta.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like people were finding like random shit.
Yeah.
So anyways, kind of just to put the pre-Destiny talk to bed. I mean,
it's going to be huge.
know what I'm looking for? I'm looking forward to experience the story. I am one of these gamers that I still enjoy a story, even if it's a shooter.
You say that as though you're in a minority, and I don't think you are. I honestly don't think you are.
Well, I guess I was referring to like the shooter genre, because I think in the shooter genre these days, most people, they get them for the multiplayer. At least that's my opinion.
No, that's true. I think there's not been many shooters apart from possibly Wolfenstein.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, I'm kind of looking forward to see, because we've only been up to maybe the 4th real mission in the alpha and the beta. You haven't really made it anywhere. You haven't been to Venus or Mars or any of that shit. So
what did you make of Dinklage then? Because a lot of people had a problem with his voice acting. They felt it was a little bit flat. But then I was like, I remember when I did the Let's Play, I made the counterpoint that he's a machine,
right? Right. Machines don't. I mean, Cortana was a very special, advanced AI that learned and was kind of had human injected into her. But yeah, we don't really know what these ghosts are. I mean, these were these little things that came out of the what they call the big white orb, the protector. What the hell is that thing called?
I can't remember.
That's hovering over it's hovering over the last city, but.
I don't think
that's where all the ghosts came from.
They definitely shouldn't compare it to Cortana, because Cortana was so advanced to the point where the Master Chief was pretty much in love with her. That's what I gathered. There was a relationship there of love. I'm not saying as in a partner.
No, he cared for her like a best friend, a family member.
Exactly,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
No, you know what? It's funny you bring that up, because when I first played the alpha and I knew he'd be voicing it, I think, we all expect him to be Tyrion.
Yeah.
I did feel like he was kind of half-assing it, but your point about your point about the AI, I mean, it does make sense.
Thing is, in the alpha, there was no processing on his voice. So he sounded exactly like what you hear.
They didn't dub in like that robotic sound. Okay.
Yeah, and then in the beta, obviously they added some effects to it to, like you say, make it more robotic. But there were times when I was playing the beta when I could tell that the line that he'd done was a little bit disjointed with what was going on. Like, almost like he was trying to feign enthusiasm. So I could understand that some people had some problems.
I mean, he literally says like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, that bit. It's like, "Oh no!" It's just like, yeah, you can tell that there's nothing behind that.
I still look at them, and all I can think of is 343 Guilty Spark from Halo, and that little nut job monitor. That's some voice acting for an AI. I mean, that guy was great.
Do you know what the best voice acting? Wheatley.
Yeah, that's exactly who I was going to say. I just forgot the name.
Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, he killed it. Wheatley. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it's the first time I've genuinely really enjoyed, yes, I've enjoyed voice acting in games, but that was one that if it wasn't there, if it was somebody else, just wouldn't have worked. And the thing that made it special for me was the fact that accent is a West Country accent. You would be hard pressed to find a West Country accent in any form of media, absolutely anything. In fact, a little bit of trivia, Star Wars trivia. David Prowse, who people should know, is the guy that plays Darth Vader.
Motherfucker.
Obviously not the voice.
Bodybuilder, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's from the West Country. So he has a West Country accent. So if you wanted to know what Darth Vader would sound like, listen to Wheatley from Portal 2.
How funny would that be?
That's how he sounded. That's when you've got, Mark Hamill and everybody else all there. That's how he would have sounded as he was acting. He would have sounded with a West Country accent. And it's a funny accent. It's yeah.
English Darth Vader.
Yeah. Well, he would have been like, "Oh, my lover, are you down there? I want to get on the old Death Star there." That's what he would have sounded like, because that's a West Country accent. So
got you.
It's not the kind of.
He was in a Clockwork Orange too, right? Prowse
was Prowse in Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, he's like one of the goons.
Is he?
Yeah, when they go back to like their little base with the mannequins and all that shit. Yeah,
I never knew that. I'm almost positive
so
many times.
Yeah, I'm almost positive he's in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, cool. Well, yeah. So Destiny next Tuesday. I don't know if we'll cast next Friday. That's going to be a little too soon, but maybe after that we can have a kind of a Destiny recap, debrief of those of us that have played it, how we feel about it. So before we end, there's a little interesting Game of Thrones news that popped up this week.
Right, okay.
Who is the only main lead female character, well, outside of the kids, that you have not seen naked yet?
Main. Wouldn't it be? Oh, what's her name? I can't remember her bloody.
It's everyone's favorite bitch, man.
Is it the Tyrell?
Everyone's favorite bitch. No, I'm talking like since main character hasn't been around since the first season.
Hang on.
And I do think you saw Marjorie during season 2 when she was trying to get her bisexual husband to hump her.
Yeah, true. Now, obviously, we've seen...
You're going to smack yourself when I tell you.
We've seen Daenerys, obviously.
Yeah.
We have seen... Is it Cersei?
Yep. She has not been nude yet. I mean, yeah, her brother was banging her from behind, but she was fully dressed in that first episode. So, she will be nude in season 5. Full nude. And there's a reason for that, but I'm not going to tell you because it would spoil parts of the story.
All right.
The reason that got released this week, I guess the town in Croatia that they wanted to film the scene in, I guess the church kind of runs the town, and the church was like, yeah, go fuck yourself. But HBO, with enough money, lubed them up, and they're going to film the scene anyway. So,
yeah, because God needs money.
Exactly. Yes.
He always needs money.
Money erases sins.
Exactly. Always has done.
Yeah, so you're going to get to see, I don't know her name in real life, Lena Headley.
Yeah, Lena Headley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love her. She's a good actress, but... So there's your little Game of Thrones nugget until next April. It's not going to be back.
I know.
George hasn't released any news on the books, man. I mean, I think it's been almost a year now since I finished book 5, waiting for 6, but oh well. So,
yeah,
all right, Bensons, I think we can call the show, man. It's good talking to you again. Hopefully everyone gleaned a couple informative items out of our cast today, talking about PAX, the Indies, and obviously Destiny. Again, remember, if you want to try to win the Ghost edition of Destiny for the Xbox One, just sign up through our website, search for a Destiny giveaway.
Yep, do it.
Yes, please.
Do it. Because, like Matt said, you have such a great chance of winning.
You get like 11 entries just for signing up, people. I mean, I make this as enticing, as easy as it can get. I want you to want me. I want you to want me. I want you to want the EB. You know what I mean? I want you guys to get hip with this site because we're pretty fucking cool.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, I'm Matt Haywood, the owner, creator, and genius, if you will, behind entertainmentbuddha.com. You can follow me on Twitter. I knew you'd like that. You can follow me on Twitter.
Your own dick anymore?
Yes. Thank you. I just got done. And this is because of Benson's, but I've changed my personal Twitter handle to @Matt R. Haywood instead of throwing threes in there for the E's because I know that used to give him
because he was so
heartburn. Yes, I was leet with my 3E. So at Matt Haywood on Twitter, and then you got at @Buddha. Obviously, we're on YouTube. Check us out. We've tried to put out some homemade videos, custom videos. We'll try to do more. It's just we're all basically volunteer, freelance, so we can't dedicate too much time to that.
We don't want to just do something without it being worthwhile.
Just to do it, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
We speak when we have gold to spin. Basically, we only open our mouths when we have gems coming out. We pride ourselves on our content. So hit the site. Make sure to follow us on all the socials: YouTube, Instagram, blah blah blah. You know the routine. Anything you want to plug there, Bensons?
The usual. Follow me on Twitter at Tenbensons, and I'll just repeat what you said. Really. Get on YouTube, give us a subscribe, go through some of our videos, give them a click, give them a like, share them out. Get us on Twitter. Visit the site every day because there's always something different. There's always something new, and
and I am
the laziest member of the EB crew.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, you do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So you have your role. We all have our roles.
Yeah, but no, the point I was trying to make is that there is always something there. There's always something different. I work for the site, but when I go, there's always something different.
Yeah, we don't just do games either. I mean, we do anything geeky.
Exactly,
it could be a dumbass video on the internet. We'll put it up there if we think it's funny.
Sports podcast coming up. So if you guys in the US or UK or anywhere that are into American football or football, then
we got a new cast should be going up tomorrow before the games start on Sunday.
If you like a bit of a flutter, a bit of a gamble, it's definitely
our guys Nick, aka Hershey, and Justin did a little a podcast, kind of looking at the spreads and the lines for all the games. So we'll get that up tomorrow. But like Benson's saying, we were very multifaceted. We're diverse. We don't just focus on games. We do it all. Yeah. We try not to just repost the same bullshit news that all the other gaming sites post. We try to kind of pick and choose the good stuff. So again, I'm Matt Haywood. Thanks everyone for tuning in to the 12th episode of the Buddhacast. We're getting there. One day we'll be 20, maybe 50, maybe 100, maybe 1,000. Who knows? We'll do more if you listen. So please subscribe in iTunes. You can do that right in the post below, or search us in iTunes, just Entertainment Buddhacast. You'll find it. So cheers, folks. Have a great weekend. I'm off to the bar to have a brewski. See you now.
Peace out, fuckers.